background in a nutshell is I was raised in a Christian home, accepted Christ in early grade school years, believed the Bible from cover to cover, all the way up growing up. And then I graduated from high school, went to a Christian college for a while studying engineering. Then I became more interested in physics. That college didn't have a physics major, so I left there, went back to Wisconsin to a state university and to get my degree in physics. And that's when my world changed quite a bit, going from the small college where my engineering professors opened up in prayer to a very large state university where my physics professors did not open up in prayer. And they were all evolutionists, some of them were atheists, and they were telling me in essence that everything I believed was wrong. And at that point in my life, I knew what I believed, I just didn't know why.
Can I ask you real quick, because this is something that we hear all the time from kids going to school. Do you feel like that was one of their goals, was to kind of, they looked at that as a crutch and they wanted to get rid of that crutch for you and say, hey, come on, stand up on your own 2 feet?
Sure. Well, kind of the thought is you're in the real world and you get to the university, junior high, high school, so-so, but you get to college and now you're going to learn truth and deal with the real world. And so they're not messing around anymore. And all this faith stuff, that might have been fine when you're at home with your parents and it's kind of fun, but now you're in the real world. They're going to train you in real world things, primarily science and their philosophy, and they're intelligent, so you need to just trust them as an authority. And a lot of kids do that, and even Christians are not quite sure what to do. They've come out from under the umbrella of their own parents, and now they're on their own, and they need to make choices for themselves. And a lot of them really aren't trained to make good decisions, and certainly not biblically consistent decisions. And you got, Satan tugging at them to go in directions they shouldn't go, so it's very alluring to kind of walk away from the faith and do things that all your friends are doing. And one way you can do that is to say, well, maybe the Bible does have some errors in it, maybe it isn't literal, and don't need to take it all that seriously, and that kind of allows them to justify the lifestyles that they maybe choose once they get into college, and then walk away from church because you feel too guilty going to church, so just kind of give that up too. And I think that's part of the trend that we're seeing.
I'm going through a series right now, tell me what you guys think about this, where they're distinguishing between what we commonly refer to as a Christian today, which could mean anything, and comparing that to a disciple of God, which is, it just seems to have a whole different kind of context, whole different feel. And it seems like that's what you're talking about. A lot of people go and they kind of leave that as a questioning thing, saying, hey, yeah, I'm a Christian, but let me ignore a lot of that stuff, when really God has called us to be a disciple. And it comes down to, is God's word true? Are we going to believe what He says? What He says, is that what we're going to believe?
Yeah, and I think even in my own experience, I had started off at a Christian college, and I was kind of lax there because I was at a Christian college. I had 2 Bible classes at the time. I was going to Bible studies, and we had chapel twice a week, and then I went to church on the weekend. I thought,
you got plenty of religion going on.
The ultimate Christian life. What else would God want from me? But I was very stagnant in my faith, and when I left there and went to the state university, all of a sudden my environment changed so drastically. I found a Christian group on campus that happened to be the Navigators group, and I actually grew more there spiritually at the state university than I did on a college, Christian campus, and that was because of my own personal choices.
It's true that it can go either way, can't it, sometimes in those environments. For some, where they haven't really been well rooted, it can take them well away from God. For others, being involved with such Christian groups, it can be the making of them.
It's not a black and white issue. It could go good or bad at either position.